戒めより解き放ちたまえ。
精霊の連時計最高値へいつでも発信できるわ。
スプリガン出ます。
Hey everybody, welcome back for another shooting edition of Shoreviewken. Today we're taking a look at one of the better shooters for the PC Engine, which, if you know how many shooters there are on the PC Engine, that's saying a lot. It's Seirei Senshi Spriggan for the PC Engine CD, which is a 1991 release published by Nagsatsoft and developed by Compile, the same developer behind a bunch of other amazing shooters like Blazing Lasers, Musha, and Space Megaforce, just to name a few, so it's safe to say they know their way around a shooter. Some time ago, I reviewed this game's sequel, Spriggan Mark II, which I absolutely loved, but when I finally got around to playing this one, I was surprised to find that the two games have absolutely nothing in common aside from the name. Spriggan, unlike the sequel, is a top-down shooter, and fun fact, Mark II is actually the only side-scrolling shooter that Compile ever developed, and this game, since it's not part of the Aleste series, doesn't have the usual Compile power-up system of having lots of different numbered orbs floating around the screen that grant different weapons. Instead, Spriggan features a bunch of different colored orbs that grant different weapons, but it's not quite as simple as that. In this game, you can hold up to 3 orbs at a time, and by mixing and matching different colors, you can use all kinds of assortments of different weapons and combinations of weapons. There are spread shots, energy waves, homing shots, destructive force fields, and they can all be used in unison depending on what mix of colors you have. Another cool feature in Spriggan that I really like is that at any time you can sacrifice one of your orbs to use as a super bomb, and each color has a different area of effect, and the game is so generous with power-ups that you basically have a steady stream of super bombs and an ever-changing arsenal of weapons. One last power-up you can pick up acts as both an instantaneous super bomb when you touch it, and it gives you a shield that allows you to take an extra hit without dying. And all of this is in service to what at its core is just a very solid shoot 'em up. The controls are tight and responsive, there's a fair level of challenge and multiple difficulty levels to choose from, lots of different types of enemies, some large and elaborate boss battles, and most importantly, it's really fun. Again, if you're familiar with shooters made by Compile, then none of this should surprise you. Spriggan definitely lives up to their legacy of shooting excellence. It's very good. The visuals and sound design in Spriggan are both also very good, so once again, pretty much what you'd expect from Compile. I will say it's hard to put my finger on what exactly the aesthetic is supposed to be. It's sort of a mix between fantasy and sci-fi. There are lots of fantasy-type settings and monsters. You'll find yourself in castle dungeon-looking stages and inside caverns fighting dragons and wizards, but you'll also be taking on flying gunships and various kinds of robots, and you yourself are piloting a mech suit, so it's a mix of two different styles, but it ends up being pretty cool. Plus, overall, it's just a good-looking game with cool enemy designs, nice-looking stages, and with this being a PC Engine CD game and all, you get some nice-looking anime cutscenes that show off the cool character designs and the cool mech designs. The soundtrack is also very well done, again benefiting from being on CD. We get some awesome sounding music that bounces back and forth between high-intensity, action-oriented music to more subdued and creepy for some of the ominous-looking stages, and it all sounds really good. Plus, the cutscenes are fully voiced, and even if you don't understand Japanese, you can still appreciate some decent voice acting, so it's all good. The visuals sound, and gameplay are all top-notch. That's why this is considered to be a top-tier shooter for the PC Engine. So, I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but this is a fantastic shooter with amazing gameplay and some very cool visual and sound design, and it gets my highest recommendation. It's great. The only drawback is that it's quite expensive these days. You can expect to pay up to $100 for a copy online, which is very steep, even if you're a shooter fan. On the other hand, PC Engine CD games are region-free, so if what you have is a TurboGrafx CD or a Turbo Duo, you can still play this game no problem. If you've played and enjoyed some of Compile's other shoot-'em-ups, you should really look into this one. It's Seirei Senshi Spriggan, and it's definitely awesome.